Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to Sandy's Library. I'm Sandy, and this is where I used to write novels and novellas, but now I just read tarot cards with my spirit guides. I'm going to ask you to check the description for more information on why that is. We'll both be better off for it if you do. And I just want to remind you guys that I do have dogs. The 4 little mini Dachshunds, and you may hear them walking around on the floor, flapping their ears. Hopefully they won't get into a bark fest, but if they do, we'll deal with that when it happens. I just don't want you guys to be surprised by it. So anyways, the purpose of this video is to read some tarot cards with my spirit guides. Our readings are channeled messages for twin flames in separation. We tap into one divine pair, a divine masculine and his divine feminine, but they are usually representative of a group of like-minded souls who have similar stories here in the 3D. So if some things match and others don't, just take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, I do want to mention that when I say the masculine and feminine energies, I'm not talking about gender. This has nothing to do with male and female. It's all about energy. So don't get too overly wrapped up in the pronouns that I use. I personally identify as a divine feminine, so that's mostly why I read it that way. So, just take it for what it's worth. So, we do have some pre-drawn cards here. And let me just say that the reason for the pre-draw has more to do with my cognitive issues. And you probably better understand that if you read the description. But we have some divine masculine energy here. Excuse me. You guys are going to have to get used to me clearing my throat a lot. And I do tend to cough because I have esophageal issues. I have some water here that I will constantly reach for. So sorry if that bothers you guys. And we have some divine feminine energy, and we have one message from spirit to kick things off. Now, that said, we are going to supplement these cards with some randomly drawn cards from our in-house oracle decks. Our in-house oracle decks were created in conjunction with Sarah's Tarot. She did the concept, layout, and design of all of the decks. That said, myself and my guides are responsible for the messages inside these decks. There is more description, more about the decks in the description, including purchase and flip through links if you guys are interested. But now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get started. And you guys remember those like-minded souls that I was telling you about? Well, let's play a little game to see if we can tap into that group and see if we can get an idea about who we're talking about. I have some Scrabble letters, and I'm going to put them in this little pouch. I have one for each letter of the alphabet, and I'm going to draw a couple of them out to see if we can maybe pinpoint a couple of people in this group. Okay, so I've got 2 letters, so if your initials or your divine counterpart's initials. This could also be representative of a geographic location as well. So if you can pull something out of this, first we have a P, and then we have an I. So if you can identify with something there, you know, cool. But it's just a fun little thing to do, and we are going to be we're going to be tapping into a larger group, so don't get caught up in those. Anyway, let's see what Spirit wants to tell us straight off the bat. Ask love no questions, and it will tell you no lies. Yeah, I can, yeah, okay. Not sure what that means yet. We'll find out though, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and set the Divine Feminine aside for right now. And let's see what we can get from the Divine Masculine energies. We have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. Okay. My guides are giving me the astrological signs of Virgo, Leo, Taurus, and even some Aries, they say. Yeah. So, Virgo, Leo, Taurus, Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising could represent a season. Again, don't get too caught up in it if you can't relate. So, let's get started. The biggest thing I'm getting here is the Divine Masculine is torn between a karmic relationship that comes with a boatload of pentacles and his Divine Feminine. It comes with more passion than he's ever experienced in his entire life. And note the position of the cards. The Divine Feminine, she shows up over here, last. Makes me think he's maybe a little unsure about following his heart toward his Divine Feminine, which he says is where he wants to be. But he's just not sure that she wants him as much as he wants her. So he's staying put. Well, I mean, there is a measure of comfort in the luxury of all those damn pentacles that are attached to this karmic relationship. And yeah, pentacles, they're very enticing. The thing is, though, the Divine Feminine is intoxicating for him. Yeah, I can feel the heat in his attraction for his Divine Feminine. It definitely gives me a twin flame vibe. Yes, it's incredibly intoxicating. I have only felt this once in my life. Long time ago. Anyway, it's there, and he's contemplating. I feel like he's really contemplating contacting the Divine Feminine. I feel like he's kind of perhaps still in the planning stage, though. I feel like he's still trying to figure out how to leave all of this behind without bringing a shit ton of baggage in the form of chaos and conflict into this incredibly passionate relationship that he sees could happen if he could just get back to his divine feminine. That's what he's telling me. If I could just get back to her. Yeah, so, okay, let's see. If you could talk to her here in the 3D right now, what would you say to her? I mean, you know, you're thinking about contacting her, so tell us, what would you say? Shoot. Guys, I'm having trouble shuffling today. I was even having trouble shuffling when I was doing the pre-shuffling and meditation on the cards. It's got nothing to do with spirit. It's all got to do with my my brain, cognitive issues. So you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. But we just want to know, you know, you want to contact her. So what do you want to say? Now, my guides want me to remind the divine masculine of what they said at the beginning, okay? They said, ask love no questions, and it will tell you no lies. So, what I'm getting from that divine masculine is, you be sure you want to know the answer before you ask the question. Okay. This is what he would say to her. What he wants to say to her, he's telling me. You're the dream I go to every time I close my eyes. Yeah, we know that. We know that. Because you're using all of the karmic pentacles in the daytime to help you forget about the divine feminine. But you can't help but think about her when you go to sleep or when you close your eyes, because she's always there. He says, I often wonder if you ever loved me the way I love you. Okay. Well, you know, I'm having trouble reconciling that one, divine masculine. He says, I have a fierce battle between love and hate that's raging inside of me. So, what's this battle about? And he's telling me intoxicating passion. You know, and you don't get to experience that unless the feelings are mutual. You know, you don't experience intoxicating passion from another person unless they actually feel it, and you're not going to present it unless they're feeling it too. It's got to be a give and take sort of thing. So I'm kind of wondering, because he's torn between the passion that comes with his divine feminine and the pentacles that come with the karmic. Oh, hey, when you say, I often wonder if you ever loved me the way I love you, does that have something to do with, you feel like, is that got something to do with a separation maybe? Do you feel like she doesn't love you because she doesn't want to continue contact with you because of this karmic here. I don't know. I'm guessing here. There's a lot of chatter going on, so I'm getting yes for some, others for, well, no, not really. So if that resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, don't put too much into it because, like I said, there's a lot of chatter going on. But I'm trying to figure out what, how do you experience passion like that if you don't think somebody ever loved you? Okay, he says, the lingering effects of my mistakes surround me like a fine mist. So he's acknowledging he's made some mistakes here. He's acknowledging that. When you said those words, my heart splintered, and when you walked out, the last solid piece of me crumbled. And I'm feeling like this part right here is more current. But he wants to remind her when you walked out, the last solid piece of me crumbled. This is not from the initial separation. That's what I was trying to tie it to first, but this is not from the initial separation. This is a second separation, and when you said those words, my heart splintered, and when you walked out, the last solid piece of me crumbled. Now, my guides are telling me that the walked out is metaphorical, in that perhaps the divine feminine is the one who stopped the contact, and so that's why it's metaphorical. He says, I will always love you. Okay. I think we can move on to the divine feminine now, and we can see what she says, because he's starting to pour a lot of this story out to me, and my gut is like, well, let's make sure we get the divine feminine's input before he takes us too far down the path he thinks he went on. Okay, for the divine feminine, we have the Eight of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups. Excuse me. And we have the Page of Wands. And I gotta get a drink, guys. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I have to wet my throat on my lips. Sorry, guys. I've got to put this on my lips. Sorry. Anyways, my guides are giving me the astrological energies of Leo, Cancer, Pisces, and Libra. So, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Season. If you could attach that, wonderful. But if not, maybe you can attach this. Man, there is a ton, and I do mean a ton, of sexual energy in this reading. The divine masculine and the divine feminine are completely enraptured with one another here in the 3D. So, you know, it makes me want to ask, what's the problem? It's sad that the answer is staring me straight in the face. The Divine Feminine says it's all about a timing issue. And she said it took a long time, but she slowly learned to accept that she and the Divine Masculine, man, there's just simply a missed opportunity. Oh my gosh. Even so, you know, there is still unfinished business here, and there always will be. Because my guides say it's a 5D thing. But nevertheless, the Divine Feminine has been all up in this missed opportunity energy. And now she's added this wishful thinking energy. Yeah, that's the most of what I'm getting from this card is wishful thinking. I mean, look at it. There are so many cups here. Look at all of these cups. And they're filled with all of these wondrous things that make our lives happy, enjoyable, and complete. Trouble is that even best case scenarios, some of these cups are always going to remain out of reach. You know, doesn't matter. The Divine Feminine says she's already drank from the cups that are now out of reach. Yeah. She says she knows now because she's tasted that divine union here in the 3D. And it's going to be hard to find something to measure up. That's what she's telling me. But you know what? Here's the thing. Here's what my guides are saying. If union isn't meant to be in this lifetime, you're going to need a strong soulmate connection to get you through it in one piece. That is what they're telling me. You know, and trust me, y'all, this is something I know a little bit about. And they are absolutely right. You're going to need that. And I'm full on getting that this Divine Masculine has no intention. This is what he's saying. I have no intentions of spending the next 31 years trying to convince myself that the Divine Feminine was just another girl from his past. That's what he's telling me. He has no intentions of doing that. He says he can see how that story plays out from other Divine Masculine in his group. He says he sees how that plays out. He don't want any part of it. He says, I'll pass. That's what he's telling me. I'll pass. So, sorry guys, I had to get some water. So, best thing I can tell you, Divine Feminine, if you haven't heard from him already, you're gonna. And yeah, he's heard the stories inside his group. He doesn't want to end up like other Divine Masculine from his group. He wants to learn from their mistakes, so he is coming forward. And my guides say that what the Divine Masculine has to say to you, Divine Feminine, will be music to your ears. Yeah, I'm getting him. He is definitely awakening to the connection. And I do feel like contact is coming. And maybe we can find out a little more about that. But first, you know, we'll do that later, okay? First, I still want to hear from the Divine Feminine right now. So, he's coming. Are you receptive? That's what I want to know, Divine Feminine. Are you receptive to him coming towards you? Because I'm getting that if she just shows him, just give him a sign that she wants him. He said that's all he needs, and he will, pardon my silly, worn out, cliched pun, but he will drop little Miss Karmic and all her pentacles like a hot potato. Oh, okay. So, what? Remember what he's just telling me? He's looking for a sign. Well, here you go. She says, I'd give anything if you just walk back through that door. I don't think we need to dip into this one anymore. He was looking for a sign, and there's his sign. And I'm going to give her one more chance, because Crazy for You is a little bit more tumultuous energy. And out of all of that tumultuous energy, we were able to pull that out. And to me, that means a lot. Now, this deck has a lot different energy, but there is a lot of wishful thinking inside this deck as well, because, well, the title is If I Had Married You. So, perfect book for twin flames and separation. Not that I'm trying to sell it or anything. She says, tell me what you want. Yeah. And I feel like that is all about, what do you want? Do you want all these pentacles, or do you want her? Do you want all those pentacles, or do you want her? She says, the first time you looked at me, your eyes invaded my senses and stirred my soul. So, dude, let's get on it. You know, I don't mean to sound super callous or anything toward the karmic, but I will if it's warranted. And in this case, I'm just getting some bad energy from this karmic. That doesn't always happen. Usually, my thoughts on the karmic are pretty docile. But I'm getting some bad energy surrounding this karmic. So, I have no filters, and you're going to hear exactly what I think about it. Alright, so this deck right here, we want to give the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine a chance to talk to one another. And, you know, if you already know this, sorry, but I'm going to do this for anybody that's new that might be watching. These are our lonely days and lonely nights. Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies for twin flames and separation. And this allows us to give them the opportunity to have a conversation with one another. Now, they don't always comply, because sometimes their responses to each other are like mismatch. mismatch, something, I don't know what. But sometimes their responses don't always make sense, but oftentimes they do. And hopefully these guys will talk to one another, because they definitely seem to be on the same page. So, divine masculine, what say you? He says, I'm glad I met you. Excuse me. He says, I'm glad that I met you. Alright, divine feminine. Oh my goodness. She says, I wish I could spend one more day with you. Yeah. Okay. Divine feminine. What do you want to say? She says, it's always been you. Oh my. Divine masculine. He says, I'm jealous of how happy someone else has made you. I'm not getting that she's with someone though. This may be an independent message coming out, because I don't know if y'all can see this, but where I pull this out from, the energy was straight over this, and I couldn't tell if it was this one or the one underneath it. And I was going to pull the one underneath it after this anyway, because I just don't understand this. I'm jealous of how happy someone else has made you. I don't see her as being with anyone, and this is divine masculine energy. So this may be a message that, you know, someone from the group is stepping forward. If anybody can relate to this, if it speaks to you, I'm jealous of how happy someone else has made you. If you've often wondered, if there's anybody out there who's often wondered if your divine masculine is jealous of the relationship that you're in now, I think this may be for you. I think so. Because I'm not getting that it goes with these guys, but let's see if this does. Now this, because she says, it's always been you. He says, I wish I'd been honest with you that time you poured your heart out to me. So I'm getting that maybe he wasn't quite honest. Because for whatever reason, when he wasn't sure, he was not sure if she would be receptive. And I almost want to feel like maybe he thought someone else was making her happy. Oh, he says he's just, because he says that, okay, he has taken some partial ownership of this card. But he says that there is a person in the collective who wanted to send this message out. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. But he has taken ownership of this card. Because he said that the someone is supposed to represent something. Because he says that the divine feminine, it's like she's living her own, she's in her own, he sees her as being in this really super happy place, and he's jealous that she was able to get there without him. But it's not a malicious jealousy. It's not a malicious jealousy. It's just that he wishes that he had always been there. And he wishes that he had been the one by her side to help her create whatever it is that she's created. And I get the feeling she's created something pretty awesome as far as success. Okay? And the divine masculine feels like, you know, he's jealous that he wasn't there, but he says that he feels like he could have really helped her excel, because he says he would have been so incredibly supportive, you know, and I believe him now. I just want to remind him that he had a chance to be incredibly supportive, and we don't know, we're not going to get into what happened. We're not going to get into what happened at all. Because I'm going to look forward, not back. Tell me something, Will and Beth. Unconditional love is the highest vibration of all. Yeah. One more. To let go is to grow. Yeah, she let go. And she grew in the process, and boy, is she shining now. And he can't resist her light. He cannot resist her light at all. No, he can't. Now, we know that there is bound to be some contact here, because it just feels like it's in the air. But we are going to see if we can find out a little bit more about when that might happen. And I have all of these little charms here. I have 13 of them. And they represent, 12 of them represent 1 month of the year. And I have assigned the little key here because I can't remember them, so I have to look at the little key to see what I've pulled out. Now, and I did say there were 13, and yes, there are only 12 months in the year in my universe, so I'm sure that you can guess what that 13th one represents. So, let me grab one, and let's hope I don't grab that one. Oh, the llama. We'll have the llama. And the llama represents January. So, yeah, I think, well, if it's going to be January, then he's already making his way out of that situation. Yes, he is. He's definitely making his way out of that situation to be coming up in January, because January's not that far away. But hey, good news for the divine feminine, right? Okay, so, well, I guess that about wraps it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thanks for taking the time to view it. And be sure to drop back in tomorrow. We upload a brand new reading every day. Wishing you tons of peace, love, and happiness. Later, gators.